Alright, another evening, and I think I want to spend this evening with my two synthesizers, the Third Wave and the Summit. And I recently were getting a comment like what I think about them, which one do I prefer? And that gave me an idea, like why not comparing them a bit? I'm going to be honest with you that I'm not a huge fan of comparing synthesizers because often it tends to go in the wrong way anyway, because they are different. But if you like to see it, let's do it, of course. And I've been trying to put some initialized patch as good as I can on this machine. There you have the Summit. And we need to have a similar waveform here. I think we should go into a deeper territory today and take, why shouldn't we take, the analog waveforms then? We can take Super Saw perhaps, and we're going to take the Super Saw on this one also. That's a bit different because what you basically do here is that you take a sawtooth and then you go to the oscillator page over here, and then you need to go to page called oscillator 1, and you have saw density, and then you can set density, detune and things like that. So let's tune it up a bit. Also you have oscillator divergence, these things on the synth that makes them a little bit slightly detuned for each press, but I think we stick with this example. And here we have the saw wave on this machine then, the Super Saw. And we can manipulate it a bit by changing the offset, wave offset. Now we're speaking. Perhaps I was on the wrong octave. Okay, so the difference is, of course, is that this is a wavetable. This is more the, how to say it, the FPGA programmed oscillator then. So that's, we are not using wavetables right now on this one. Let's use the filter a bit. And the filter on this machine. One important thing to notice is that on this machine I have velocity on the amplifier, so it might sound a bit different then. But I try to get them as equal as possible. If I put without, if you want to listen to it, if I put without velocity on the amplifier, it will sound a bit weird, I guess. Super beefy. But here it really drifts away, when you are disabling it. Okay, now for some filter resonance. Now we're going to the deeper territory. Put it halfway here. And what about this guy? Halfway resonance. Okay, so you know what I think, honestly. I think that they do their job, both of them. Just that they sound a bit different. And speaking about sounding different, that's the main reason why I have the Summit actually, because I found something quite interesting when I was getting my peak very many years ago. And it was like the filter, I liked how they behaved. But when I was getting the peak, it was like the beginning of it's not really a beginning of hybrid synth, but it was coming back, getting more normal. So I found that this filter was a bit dirtier, and in a way. And that's what I like, these growling sounds and things like that. This is more clean and polite. Okay, if I said clean, forget about it. I mean, it's... yeah, I think you know what I'm trying to get, because it's a profit filter, you know? What about some delay and reverb? I honestly think that the effects are really good on the Summit, and not saying that they're bad or anything on the third wave. That's not what I mean. I mean, I like them on the Summit. And let's add some reverb. I'm going to be honest that in the many cases I'm actually using the effects when recording songs, with both when I had a peak and now when I have the Summit. I find, you know, the effects are like, sometimes they're desirable, especially the chorus is a really nice one. And you understand me when I say that I think now they are really spreading apart, these two synthesizers, and we are using only one oscillator, but I think they are going in two different directions now when we're adding the effects. Had to get a sip of my cup of tea there. I need to add some key tracking on the filter. Let's see where I can do that. I guess it's over here. Is it miscellaneous? I guess. Wait a bit. I have a key amount. There it is. We call it like hjärnsläpp in Swedish. It means like losing the mind a bit when we forget things. That's good, you know. You know what I like about that, you know? It's lower frequency there, higher there. Let's add a key tracking on this little fellow also. It's over here. It's so dark in here. I almost can't see there, you know? Oh, that's good. What's interesting is that we haven't even used our envelopes on neither of these ones. So perhaps we should add some filter envelope on this. I wonder how the state is. Okay, it's like that. Let's try it on this one. Where are you? There you are. Let's try to make this similar. I guess there a little bit of release. Okay, so what do I think now? When listening to these two, when we are putting them like a little bit in together in the same settings, now this tends to feel, you know, a little bit flatter. This has like some dynamics in the sound. It's like it's snappy and you hear the filter. Of course, this has dynamics, but it's not in the same way that you feel the sound. But it's perhaps we are a bit near now when I close the filter a bit. I guess that that did the trick. Another nice feature, as I've been telling about the third wave, is this second digital filter, which can help to sculpt a bit high frequencies away, like this. That comes in handy sometimes. The Summit, of course, has a mode that you can use a dual filter setup, and I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't tried it out yet, and I think I forgot how to use it, so I'm not going to cover it in this video, because that will just make the video very boring when I try to figure it out. But in some cases, you know, having a second filter, many of the things that you need it for can of course be carried out in the DAW if you want. If we should make things a little bit interesting, we can use pan spread. And I guess that we should have this possibility here also. Let's see where I can find it on the Summit. I guess it's voice filter. Some page over here. There it is. Here we have a spread. Diverge. Let's increase this one. Spread mode can be changed. Guess it's similar now to the third wave, but we maxed it out. Of course, we have been only exploring the low-pass filter on the Summit. We can take some band pass. And I guess that describing the Summit character, I think it's over here, with the resonance, you know, this little bit narrow feeling there. Of course, we can use bandpass on this one also, on the digital filter. And turning back the low pass filter. You know, I'm going to be honest that, of course, we just been looking at the Super Saw right now, but for some reason, I think that it's really hard to say like the other one is better than the other one, vice versa, you know, and I mean they are different. I mean, you have the PPG waveforms here if you like them. You can switch to PPG envelopes also, or the third wave envelopes. I mean, you have some options here. Comparing to price, you know, of course, I cannot deny that you get so much synth for the money when it comes to the Summit, but on the other hand, you get so much synth for the money when it comes to the third wave also. But you have like a high, how to say, entering of money to get all these things, you know. But if you look at what you have for the money, you have very much for the money. If you understand what I try to say, how I try to express it there. But I know it's an expensive purchase if you want this one. Let's make some LFO modulating the filter. Let's try this little fellow. LFO depth is over there. I like how the LFOs behave on the third wave. You know, the modulation depth of them. Okay, wow. What a sound, you know. How did I end up with this? Okay, a little bit of rate of the... and some minor. Oh, we hit the level a bit too hard. Turning down the VCA a bit. Are we even near? We are a little bit hot on the signal here also. Perhaps I should try to turn it down a bit here. We don't have any velocity, by the way, that's why it's so hot signal. I'm going to say that this sound, I like it on this one. So what do you think? I mean, I'm not quite sure which one is my favorite, if I should say which one to pick, but I think that without any doubt the third wave is like giving you so much fat sounds if you want, and they are even in a control area. It's not like they are taking over too much unless you wanted to do it. But the Summit, on the other hand, I cannot deny that it can give so many sounds that no other synth can. So yeah, as usual, it's impossible to say pick a favorite. It's always like that. I think it's impossible because they have different character. They have, like, if it wasn't of the character, I think it would be very easy just to have 2 or 3 synths or 4 at maximum. But it's we are having so much synth here. So if you ask me, like, which synth would I likely to keep, over a long time, like a synth that I would be like having fear it would break, over time, that I'm really addicted to. And I think for that, if we take that analyze, I think the third wave is the one that I would, be very sad if it didn't work one day. I mean, this is one of my dreams, but at the same time, the Summit, I'm using it. I think I'm using it equally when it comes to electronic or EDM. So that's like a synth that I am depending on so much also. And in my rig here, I also had a Pro 3. So you see there, it's so hard to pick one. So there you have it, like the differences. But one thing that's important to point out is that here you have much more flexibility when it comes to modulation. I know that Novation speaks that the Summit has a good modulation matrix. I would say, yeah, back in the time it was considered very good. Now sequential is a bit ahead in the game when it comes to that mod matrix, but it's not a bad mod matrix on the Summit. More like you can do a little bit more on the third wave and also on the sequential synth. And if you heard me saying sequential when I meant the third wave, I apologize for that, because I have my mindset when it comes to that modulation matrix, this sequential modulation matrix, that style. So that's why I said it, but I mean groove synthesis third wave. Okay, so I guess that will do it for the video tonight. And this was more like a silly comparison. I mean, don't take this too granted, like, yeah, I'm going to get that one because he said that one was good. I mean, try them yourself and see what you think, but at least I could cover a little bit of the character of them. And one thing important also is that we were using only the analog waveforms. And if you use the wavetable, that are more traditional wavetable, both of the synths will create a signal that has very high frequencies, you think of it. Because I know that some people, when they try wavetable synth for the first time, they tend to forget to close the filter a bit, and then everything sounds like too sharp and too digital. That's a little miss that they can make. So that's just a tip if you're going to try out wavetables on a wavetable synth. And so that covers everything for today. And my update, if you've seen the video so far, is that regarding the sequential form, I think that synth right now has like lost completely attention from my side. It might come back, but right now I don't feel so impressed or motivated to get one, but we will see in future. Wish I could try one at least, but that seems to be so far away right now. And as usual, have a good one, take care, and have some fun with your synth, and make some music. Don't collect gear like I do, make music instead, that's much better. Alright, take care.